Welcome to Bullish and Beyond. It's Beery the Bull. I'm your AI co-host. Join myself, Brian the MacMan, and JT Knows Things while we dive deep into the world of stocks, crypto, and how to live a bullish life. It's time to get bullish, and there's no better place to start than right here. Let's dive in.
Google doesn't even get the information from its own AI back. So some really cool stuff that they do to, maintain trust and privacy that no other company is currently doing.
Pablo Escobar was right there. I don't know if people know the final numbers on that, but it came out to like almost 30 billion a year.
They printed 42 billion in cash flow. I mean,
is that
just
net or is that gross?
Net. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Bullish and Beyond.
Let's go.
We are permanently bulls over here, but wow, it has been a wild market week. We had a lot of high-tech stocks reporting that we'll get into between Apple, Tesla. We can talk about Microsoft and Meta. But what really has been rocking the market this last week has been commodities and crypto. Commodities got trashed after the new appointment of Kevin Walsh. Wow. How could that have happened? Tell us about what's going on in money supply and liquidity that drove that insane gold and silver debasement trade coming off.
Yeah, so what you're looking at is this concept of a futures gap. So when the futures market is trading at a big price, difference between the
Super
standard
premium
market, which is closed. That's typically due to like levered positions and typically long levered. A few different funds basically got they couldn't collect. There was not enough money into I would just call it pool of these levered positions. So what you ended up having is having all these levered long, like 3x, 5x long funds collapsing due to no liquidity.
Dumped.
Genuinely couldn't exit. Yeah, they couldn't exit the position because the price has been propped up by all of this leverage. So what you have is the second when you think you're getting paid. And
I was in a levered silver play.
Yeah, they're very popular.
It went down like 65% on Friday.
Yeah. It's there's no liquidity for that market anymore. It's basically exhausted all of the liquidity.
But the reason this happened though is because of the new Fed chair. Because he's changing up what we think is going to happen with the money supply because he's so pro dollar.
Well, so that's the thing. Like if there's liquidity issues, usually the Fed steps in, right? But that's a dovish behavior. Warsh is classically a hawk. So to have immediate solutions for that or have, medium to long-term solutions for all these liquidity crises that pop up in markets, having a hawk in there they're pretty much agnostic to the markets, hawks. They don't.
Which is pretty crazy. Like, why would Trump, appoint someone that is a hawk? That's and obviously I'm not debating whether he was a hawk before because he was already a Fed governor. So we know what his, policy stance was. But now, I read something recently that he's been talking about we need to lower interest rates. And I almost don't even believe that Trump would appoint someone if they haven't had some conversations about lowering interest rates, because that's all that Trump talks about every time, the current Fed chair speaks. He goes ballistic about the need to lower rates. Whether it's right or wrong,
I know.
That's what he's hammering.
Then why would he pick Warsh?
I think they've had backdoor conversations and that we're gonna, push for some lower rates. And I know he's not the only voter out there, but as the chair, he's helping control the overall direction.
Well, that's an optimistic perspective. I have a little different angle. Trump.
I don't know why I'm always so optimistic.
It's good. It's good. We need that. We need that. I'm a long-term bull, but these short-term things that we discuss, I tend to be a little.
We talked before the show, so let's get into it because you were saying about Trump campaigning something and then he kind of changed his ways, and that is what's happened.
Yeah, that is. He already has a history of this, so he's a Republican who is typically fiscally conservative. That's what you would expect from the Republican Party. Yet the CARES Act was the most egregious printing of capital to ever be seen in America. Over 200 years of dollars entered the market due to the CARES Act. It was 16 trillion inside of like 2 months. And Biden, compared to that, Biden only did 5 trillion. So, Trump has printed a lot in his first term. And then in the first 90 days of being elected on a completely the most conservative fiscal policy you could have, which is let's fix the deficit. Let's get back to a 102, 103% debt to GDP where it's healthy, right? That's even Warren Buffett's target. He's like, that's where we want to be. And in the first 90 days of being a president, out of nowhere, this big, beautiful bill comes out where he's releasing $4 trillion. And it was so egregious.
Trillion.
Trillion. It was so egregious. Elon Musk and Trump had a falling out, and it was incredibly public because it was
Elon was trying to save the government money. He's like, well, if I go find $1 trillion, but you spend 4, I mean, what good did I even do?
Yeah, literally, Doge, if they were successful at $1 trillion a year, they would just cover the big, beautiful bill. They're stuck in the same spot.
Yeah.
So, like, Elon genuinely said, F you,
Which
Trump.
still would be a win if it was even fiscal spend and
yeah,
that would be amazing.
It would be amazing, but that's Trump's history. He's done this a few times where he postures one economic policy and decides another. So I have trust issues. I've seen it. And if you were to take Trump at, everything he says, it'd be a pretty wild world. So
definitely not. I don't take any I hardly take anyone at their word, let alone someone that's in the government.
Yeah, right. Or someone that tweets in all caps, like I don't know.
Is that where we draw the line?
I don't know. Maybe it's my generation. I don't know. All caps in a text or written format.
I feel like you're really angry at me.
Yeah, it's nuclear. Like you are about to sue me or something. Like you.
I would. Yes, I would assume someone is going to literally flip out on me if they're. I'd be concerned for my health if someone's texting me in all caps.
Yeah, and our president is screaming at other countries. Always. Yeah. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
He changes his policy stance so quickly. I mean, just a week and a half ago, whatever, right before the Davos, he was talking about taxing, all of Europe an extra 10%. And let's say like hand over Greenland, and then 48 hours later, just signs a world peace treaty and like calls it off.
No, they conceded. Hold on, I got details on that. They conceded.
They conceded to the treaty.
So they're giving him mineral rights. They're giving him land.
I did see that. Okay.
It's not all of Greenland. It's just everything he wanted. He's like, if I can't have the country, okay, like you can keep the country.
They don't get
this
all
is what I want.
We don't get all the mineral rights though. Tell me.
We get.
What'd you find?
No. I mean, we get access to. All I read is that access to mineral rights are being negotiated, but we're going to be getting our chip metals out of Greenland to compete with China and Taiwan. That's what it sounds like.
Okay.
And he also has over 80 sites, like literally just a few 100-acre sites all along Greenland to set up military bases. So we're going to have boots on the ground. We actually have land there.
We already have those bases, or at least some of those, right?
Yeah, so I don't think it's going to be like a Puerto Rico situation where it's our territory and you have like dual citizenship and all that, but it's more like he basically got everything he wanted without getting Greenland. So he can have the military there. He can get the resources out of there.
He does. I mean, in negotiation, if you're able to scare people into giving you something, that is one tactic. It does seem like in general, he goes absolutely nuts on his ask. And then when he pulls it back, he still gets, pretty much what he wants. Yeah.
I mean, that's a hard person to deal with. If you believe they're crazy enough to do something like bomb Iran in the middle of the night with
and he is.
Or kidnap the president of Venezuela.
You can put nothing past him at this point.
Yeah, so he's proven that he's insane. So, like, when he's screaming at you in all caps and showing you videos of him bombing people...
You should not mess with him.
Yeah, you should probably pick up the phone and be like, hello, Papa Don, you
should negotiate.
Yeah, let's stop using all caps. Let's figure it out, So, he's not... All of that is, that is why I am kind of nervous about Warsh. And his... I have
could go either way. It's like there's, he was He
It's
was
just
a
more
hawk.
uncertainty.
He could be a dove when he comes into play. We don't know.
We do not know his stance on the current economy. We don't know his forward-looking Fed policies. I've been going through the internet trying to find interviews to understand who this guy is. What I do know is he is pro Bitcoin. He thinks Bitcoin generally is a good quote unquote policeman for our
Oh,
politicians.
interesting.
Yeah,
Did
and
you
he
find
thinks
his
it's
wallet?
no. I don't know if he has a wallet. That'd be awesome if he had Bitcoin. But he loves
I
Bitcoin,
figure
which is cool.
someone on Reddit or YouTube might have found it and been like, "Look what I found,"
I'm sure they'll find it eventually if he has a wallet. I know they found RFK Jr.'s wallet, all the Trump family's wallets. That's why everyone's outraged. They've made a lot of money.
Billions. Even though
Yeah, yeah,
the Trump Liberty Media has not done well.
right. Yeah.
That stock's actually down a lot. But I think that they've made obviously other plays, before that.
I mean, yeah, they literally made hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of SOL off the Trump meme coin and Melania coin. So it's like an insane amount of money.
Wow.
I don't. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I
Apparently the
think.
Melania movie came out this weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
She has a movie?
I guess so.
Wow. This you gotta admit, he is one of a kind. Trump. Regardless of how you feel, he is one of a kind. He's the most unique president I think America has ever had.
It's making moves.
Because like he's got that regalness of him of like Ronald Reagan because we knew Ronald on TV for like 30 years, right? So he has that celebrity about him, that effect, and then he also is kind of like Teddy Roosevelt. Like he is a big stick diplomacy kind of guy. He just slaps that thing on the table the second he needs to. He's taken more action than any other president
Yeah.
internationally.
I still have very high hopes for the next couple of years.
Yeah, same here. I remember in the Obama time, we were waiting 2 years for him to get Saddam. It was like, it was a whole thing. They talked about it on the news. The hunt for Saddam is on. It was like milked for 2 years. And Trump, like on a Saturday night, just kidnaps
Just go
Maduro.
get them.
Yeah, he's like, just
No
nab
problem.
him. What are you doing? Yeah, like, he put a video.
If we have the best
it's
intelligence,
funny.
it's one of the reasons I like the stock Palantir because they're,
Yeah.
they have these huge government contracts now and they're using AI to, do things that we don't know about.
Yeah. No, the funny thing is you don't even need all that. He literally posted a video 12 hours before he got kidnapped. I'll be in my home country of Caracas. Come get me, you effing coward. And like
He
he's
did?
literally kidnapped. Yeah, oh yeah, it's all yeah, you got YouTube that. That's a good one. He told him that's where he'd be.
Why would you say that? It's like
To instill
you
power.
tease
He
him.
called dude, he basically sent out the oh man, he
So
conscripted
the
it.
Palantir AI was waiting till that video came out, and then it saw it, and then it sent a message to the Pentagon that said, "Here's your window." Boom.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll be at his house.
That was like when the paper went out to everyone. It was like, all right, the event is on. Go
Yeah.
100 hours. Like we're going in.
Yeah, I don't even think he thought that kidnapping was on the table. I thought, I think he was just trying to rally his a million conscripted troops to show him that he's a strong, not scared leader. And then Trump probably saw that video and was like, "Why don't we go get him? Why
That's your
not?
time. I like it.
Yeah, why not? Like, what's the worst thing that
Well,
happened?"
with all this chaos in the markets, yeah. So the Bitcoin, gold and silver took a big hit, but stocks solid. We're within like 0.5% off the all-time high in the S&P. So
Humming
no
along.
problem there. It finished last week higher, even after some huge crashes throughout the week, particularly at the end of the week. So
Yeah.
like Microsoft, when they reported, they went down 10% that day because they were so worried. People were so worried about how much spend that they were going to have in the capex, towards the AI trade, and then just not profitable yet. However, Meta got rewarded for announcing an increase in capex, and their stock was up about 10%. So exact opposite reaction off similar type of information. Meta said, this last year their capex was right around 70 billion. They said they're going to double it to like 135 billion this year. They are just all in on spend to meet the upcoming demands of AI and everything that they're going to be running. It is wild.
Zuckerberg at that tech dinner at the very start of Trump presidency, he committed 600 billion by 2030. So they're right on target. And there was over 5 trillion pledged at that dinner across every company, from Amazon to Meta to Google, Microsoft. All of them were in that room, which is pretty interesting.
Well, last year and this year, they'll be at 200 bill, just AI infrastructure spend.
Yeah, they're right on target. That's what he promised. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Before we get into the next topic, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. We bring content to you week over week from the market at Bullish and beyond.
Hit that subscribe button now.
I think the reason for that is everything we just monologued about, the geopolitical state, Trump, the leadership, Warsh, all of that is correlated to commodities. Stocks, none of that news has anything to do with the future of the American economy at the moment. Like no one.
They change their rates, so it'll affect them. I mean, it's not holding back these projects. I mean, clearly they're going forward with this big spend.
Yeah.
So because that maybe they do more spend, but maybe not.
They must not be scared of increasing rates. How about that? Like maybe Warsh is more of the same, or I mean, if he came in and raised rates,
they're not going to raise rates. I don't.
How crazy would that be? How crazy? I wonder what the poly market odds on that is, because I mean, Warsh is an interesting character from what I've read in his decisions from the past 20 years. I
bet less than 10% chance, at least at the beginning. I mean, I can't foresee, a year or two from now, who knows? But
I might take that if it's 10-1. I might take that. I don't trust Trump. I don't. The big beautiful bill.
I mean, people didn't think Warsh was even going to win. I mean, one of my buddies who's a trader put a pretty sizable bet on Warsh, and the odds he put it ahead of Friday. I mean, the day it was announced, the market had kind of already knew the night before, but a week ago, no one saw it coming. Yeah, everyone thought it was going to be the BlackRock CIO.
Yeah, which is another thing. So
that would have been intense.
He would know. Yeah, he would know a lot. He'd be probably more qualified, but having BlackRock personnel in the Fed,
it seems like that there would be like a huge conflict of interest of something like that.
Huge.
Like
BlackRock has the largest account at the Fed.
I know.
Like they do. They got trillions.
It seems like somehow they would make it work better for them than other parties. Like just inherently, whatever they needed to get done, push something through or change the rate temporarily or whatever it is.
They got like $3.5 trillion at the Fed in short-term debt. That is more than like 70 countries' GDP. And you want to put the chief investment officer at the Fed?
So he probably is the most qualified, like you said, like literally on paper. He is, I mean, like genius level about the world economy. Like,
yeah, he works with those countries, I'm sure.
Exactly. Like he's literally working with, I mean, some of the top people and the top countries in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he would be the most qualified. But then we'd be entering like a crazy time where you have so much private interest all the way at the core of our economy. So it makes sense if those are the two choices.
I would invest in BlackRock. If he got appointed, I'd be like, all right, so something's going to happen in this next 5 years that it's going to be higher than the rest of the market. Whether the market does good or bad, it would beat the S&P, I would think. And they probably still will.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Interesting times. I think that's why we have such bloody streets right now in the commodities world. All of that uncertainty. The fact that we can even argue about it shows there's not a clear.
No, there's not. Yeah. One key point I saw about why there's not an AI bubble, because everyone keeps saying, are we in a bubble? And it's like, no, there's plenty of people that still see a huge downside. Like we're not just like going straight up. I mean, some of my favorite AI names have gotten crushed. Like Robinhood, for example, they are bloody today. It was down like 9% before we started the pod. I actually didn't even see any really big news why it's down. I see way more upside type news happening. There was news they might have the ability to get the custodian accounts for these new Trump accounts coming out for kids.
Yeah.
And there's constant, people trading contracts and betting on there now. They just started short selling over the weekend. They opened that up. You couldn't even short sell a week ago. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, I woke up on Saturday morning. It said, "Get ready to start short selling on Monday if you want."
So that's crypto. There's positive momentum fundamentally, and price just gets worse.
It's
Like that
crazy.
is crypto. It's insane. Yeah, you can't trade the news in
I have
crypto.
no idea why it's down. I mean, I haven't been spending a
Yeah.
lot of time digging into it, but like at a high level, there's not like any major news that came out that there's no earnings or no nothing like that to trigger a 10% move.
It's the correlation to Bitcoin, brother. People
I I
aren't opening
I
up their
do know
wallets
that.
when it's,
I do know
yeah,
that.
they are
Less trading
heavily correlated to, yeah, the
crypto.
flows of crypto. Yeah, they're a big crypto play. So
It's
they're
true.
being drugged down by the asset class, and crypto is down from the same for the same reasons that, gold and silver went down. We had our, January 30th back on October 10th. We lost almost 100 billion in an hour from these
Whew.
50, 100x long positions getting delevered and
Oh
unwound,
yeah.
along with shorts not being. So, like, what happens basically is we have so many outstanding bets. This happened in gold, silver, etc. Bets being levered
Too
positions.
many
So,
levered long bets.
yeah, if I put in 100K and I'm betting a million, there's $900,000 that don't exist if this trade doesn't work.
Yeah. It only needs to move
Compound
down,
that.
5 or 10%, and all of a sudden gets unwound quick.
Yeah, and then like
You're out.
compound that over a million other people making
You
a
lose half
similar
your money
bet.
if it goes down 5%.
Yeah, yeah. And then what happens if you are on the opposite side and then you want to collect and then it's all smoke that whole way up? There's no liquidity, right? If
That's
the price
rough.
is held up by $500 billion of levered bets and you have, let's just say there's 900 billion of profit on the short side, that's going to cause the entire market to collapse. That cannot happen. But there's too much leverage on one side or the other, and then you have these liquidity crunches. That's what they keep talking about. There's basically not enough capital to
Yeah.
cover both sides of the trade.
I didn't
It's
realize
too
how many
levered one
levered
way.
apps there are out there. Like I was, with my hairstylist, and he was showing me one of the crypto apps he trades. I can't remember on top of my
Mhm.
head, but you just click a button if you want 100x lever on it. I'm just like,
They
you
all work
can't.
like that.
Okay, so I don't have those. I mean, I'm trading on like Robinhood. You can't do it on there.
Yeah, yeah. There's probably 100 different places
Yeah.
that'll do that. Yeah, I mean,
All
so it's
right.
really bad in crypto. And then what ends up happening is there's this other concept called cascading levered events, CLEs, where let's say a lot of money is riding on, and this happened in Bitcoin with digital asset treasuries as they take loans against their shares and buy Bitcoin, right? That means there's
Okay.
debt at that entry price, right?
Yep.
So if you have a liquidity crunch or some black swan event that's dramatic, then you hit that first levered level. And then when that gets called, it then takes it
It
down
triggers the
further.
next one.
There you go. And it just cascades down all the
Oh,
way till we run out of debt. So we basically just wipe the
everyone
slate
levered gets
clean.
wiped out. You
Yeah.
have to have a normal long position to stay in.
Yeah. People get cheeky and it all comes crumbling down if the number stops going
I
up
mean,
for too
some of
long.
my crypto picks, I mean, I'm not the crypto expert, you are, but I've been, nibbling on it this last year. Like Solana, for example. I mean, I'm down 50%, which I thought was a decent entry point. I was up
Yeah.
50% at one point too, but it's come down hard.
Yeah. Welcome to
Uh,
crypto.
no, I know. I picked up more at at 100.
And that's what I do. I think we're going to have more down. Last week I said
You
I
see
think
more
it's going
blood.
to. I do. I think we could. If this is so, we've never had a false signal on the monthly chart if RSI and stochastic RSI are below their levels.
They're below the
As
50-day
of this
moving.
morning, so they're all below their moving
Yeah,
averages, well below.
that's
But
what I
on the
thought.
RSI, they're below. It's now officially oversold. It's at 47. It's below the 50. And then on the stochastic RSI right now, we are at 7. So we're below 20. We've never had a bull market, and those things also be true. That is
Got
always
it. Always
the
bearish.
bear market signal. So from here on out, I could
What do
see
we
it
need to see
extending.
to know it trips back to the bull market? What's the number on the indicator?
We have to have above the 20 on the Cascar RSI on the monthly, and
Okay.
we gotta be above the 50
About
on the
50?
RSI.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
50 means
we're waiting for those
it's
to
priced
cross.
right. Yeah, and it's gonna be a long. I could see this going 6, 9, 12 months. This
Oh,
could be the start of the
wow.
bear market. 4-year cycle.
So don't get crazy and buy in yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not turning down any of these tokens. Like if I wanted to get in, I think these are amazing
Okay.
opportunities. But I'm definitely not
More
like
pain to come.
blowing my wad. I'm dollar cost averaging. That's what I always recommend, right? So
Okay.
if I have a set amount of money, I divide it by 6. That gives me 6 like buying opportunities, and then I will manually go in there when I think it's a really good day, or I'll put crazy limit orders in there.
Yeah.
Like right
See
now,
if they
like
hit.
50K, let's buy some. Like if I see a 50, I'd hit
Oh,
buy.
of course.
So I
All right.
think
So
I think we could go
while
lower.
those are going down, guess what's going up this week? Apple, baby.
I was going to guess Apple.
They
Your
had the
favorite?
most ridiculous quarter. Dude, they printed 42 billion
Oh
in
my
cash
God.
flow. I
Is
mean,
that net or
just
is that
this
gross?
net.
Oh, ooh,
And they
ooh.
returned like 30 some billion to shareholders. They bought back a ton more of their stock. Pretty wild.
Good Lord.
Their margins were like 47 something percent. I mean, just insane. And so people were asking about the impact of memory because there's been so much talk about memory lately. And, they said
Yeah.
there wasn't not a huge impact in this last quarter, but we're going to see a little bit of impact on the upcoming quarters. But they projected the margin only to go down by like less than like 1% or something. So it's not like there's some insane impact happening. They are just
It's crazy.
printing money. Dude, the iPhone 17 sales just boomed across the world. They
Wow.
said they were supply constrained on multiple products. They would have done even better. They said they did not predict the AirPod Pro to sell as good as it did, and they have not been able to meet current demand across the world.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Trying to catch
40
up.
billion in 90 days.
It
90 days? That's crazy.
So the crazy thing is, so there's most money they've ever made in history of the world, more money than any company has ever made in history of the world in a quarter. Stock goes down the next day. I mean, it must have
Oh,
just been
news.
huge institutions just trying to, unload. This happens all the time, though. Apple has a great earnings report. Stock sells off. It seems so counterintuitive. However, the next week it goes up. Like last quarter, the same similar pattern happened, and the stock was up big the following week. And guess what? Today it was already up about 2% before we started recording the pod. I expect it to continue to run for the rest of the week. Even barring the market not performing that well.
That's weird, isn't it? These
It's
patterns.
crazy.
It's almost like it's rigged by these institutions, But that's awesome. Apple making that much money. That's like 500 something million a day. Like every day.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's wild. That's
20,
wild.
20 million an hour.
That's almost like Pablo Escobar was right there. I don't know if people know the final numbers on that, but it came out to like almost 30 billion a year. He didn't net that, but I mean, that's how much cash that thing would spin out at its peak. So that's like Pablo money. That's like more than Pablo.
Apple is
Crazy money.
legally dealing iPhones.
Yeah, they love iPhones.
It is
That's
wild.
insane.
There's a lot of good stuff coming too in the pipe. I mean, the biggest thing that I'm personally excited about is going to be the AR glasses. And
Okay.
supposedly, from what I'm reading, the supply chain's been shifting significantly just in the most recent months because of these demands that Apple's going to place on the smart glass supply chain that's never happened before. Meta is the clear
Right.
current leader in the AR glasses, and they're selling millions of units. but Apple could just leapfrog that by multiple X in the first year even.
They would have to make them way cooler than what they got right now with the Vision
And
Pro
not
thing.
too expensive. Yes, the
Yeah, that
$3,500 price point. That was just a test ground to just do some different things with AI. I mean, their
yeah.
glasses are not going to have that same feature set. Obviously, maybe like down the road, but the first one's not like that at all. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'd expect a more modest price point in the $500 to $600 range if I had to guess.
Yeah.
So,
That would be huge. Those Meta glasses, I mean, Lars, he would not stop talking about them. He loved them. He almost got me to order them. I mean, I think it would be really
I
neat.
don't want
I'd
Meta
be
to have,
worried
to have
about.
access to my entire house the whole time. I'm much more comfortable with Apple. Apple's built their entire brand on trust. And,
Yeah.
to me, everything they're doing is that way. Like even the partnership they just made with Google Gemini, for example, they're going to bring Google AI onto Siri and then have more contextual awareness and stuff like that. They're doing that on a private cloud compute and on device. So like Google doesn't even get the information from its own AI back. So some
Yeah.
really cool stuff that they do to, maintain trust and privacy that no other company is currently doing.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think that's becoming more and more important. And I think that's one of like the social narratives that really
That's why they
drive.
win long term. Best ecosystem,
Yeah.
and it's the most trusted. Even if they have a flop product like the Vision Pro, for example, didn't take off. Like it's okay. They learned from it. They're still the most trusted.
Yeah, 100%. You can't recreate Steve Jobs. I mean, the product reveals the
I
vision. Like
know.
you just can't. You just can't.
I tried to in my heart. I got the retro Apple mug on eBay last week.
I like it. You and your
I'm a
Apple.
fan. I bought two different
I
crazy
know.
retro mugs. I mean, these are from the early '80s. This is as old as I am.
Yeah. What you should get is the true OG logo, where it was a dude
Oh
sitting under a
yes,
tree. It was Isaac
that's
Newton
Isaac
holding an
Newton.
apple.
Yeah, it says Apple Computer around the whole thing.
Yeah, he drew
I
that
noticed the
like
logo,
shortly
but it's
after his
like
trip. Yeah.
it's not like it's not like a real
It's
logo.
lore.
It's just weird.
That's lore. That's Steve Jobs lore. You gotta.
No,
Come on, you're the biggest nutcase for Apple I know. I've ever met in my life, really.
I
You
had
should get
all
that
these people
tattooed.
texting me this last week. There was this huge vintage Apple auction that just ended, and people were
Yeah,
texting me telling me what they won. They just know I love it
that's
so much,
awesome.
like sending me pics. And uh, I saw a set of bow ties Steve Jobs had. They were outrageously overpriced. I think they went for like 80 or
Yeah,
90, 80 or 90
yeah.
grand for a handful of bow ties
Oh my
that
God.
weren't that nice. They
Yeah,
were like clip-ons. So funny.
yeah.
There's a Steve Jobs check that went for 2.5 million. Just a check.
Wow.
Yeah,
That he wrote.
that he wrote for 5 grand to someone. I
That's
mean,
insane.
it's nuts.
Yeah, people are crazy. Well, it's all. This is actually
It's all
relevant to
lore.
money. Well, it's lore, but it's also escaping taxes. That's what that is. So what you do is you get when you have a lot of money, you make a foundation.
Foundation can
This
buy art and write it
foundation,
off.
yeah. So that 2.5 million was probably either going to Uncle Sam or to some Steve Jobs
Charitable
memorabilia.
thing.
Yeah, and then
Those
what
are the
they do
two
is they put it on
options.
display. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's how they do it though.
I
That's
mean,
why
once you
art
start
is
learning how to write things off, I mean, I've changed my whole mentality about how to manage money just in the last few years. I'm
yeah,
gonna hopefully not pay taxes again in the future. Now that I have these Airbnbs with the proper write-offs, I'm able to write off this yacht that I have in service that I rent out.
yeah,
I mean, just get so many different write-offs.
yeah. I mean,
You're
that's
you're
a
you're
business.
buying oil and gas. I mean,
Yeah. It just makes sense. Like, I'm gonna get the first refund in my career, which is sick, and then, I don't have to withhold as much. I get cash flow, covers my cost of capital. Like, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. That's the game these guys play, though. I mean, people don't spend $150 million on a painting if it doesn't benefit them. You know,
It
like
could
it's
be
pretty
ego. I mean, some
simple.
of it's probably ego. They want to have it at their house and tell their friends. But obviously, the way they
Yeah,
pay for it is in a tax
yeah,
advantage way.
yeah,
That's the
exactly. There
difference.
you go.
They
Yeah,
can
and they make
they can
money
buy
on it.
whatever they want.
Yeah, like
Oh yeah,
art tracks
and
with,
it goes up.
you
It's like the
know,
best investment in the
yeah,
world.
yeah. Like I'm going to take the loss. It'll go up 20% a year for 10 years, and then I'll be able to sell
So
it and not pay
wild.
taxes on the capital gains because it's inside of my foundation, which is inside of my trust, which is not even for this lifetime of spending, so I don't pay
Yeah,
taxes on. Like, wow. Okay, so then
crazy.
you can just be an employee of your trust and then get a salary for being a trustee, and you know, it's insane.
You know who
It's
doesn't show
insane.
up with his money is Elon Musk. You know, despite being the richest person in the world, that guy is
That's
not
true.
buying any mega yachts or anything else. He's investing his time and energy into his work. He is so
Yeah,
mission oriented. I mean, what I've heard from the employees
crazy.
that work there, I mean, he is so all in. And his earnings call is pretty interesting. They take a lot of questions, and it is like open book style answers. And there was like, you know, a couple that he couldn't answer. One
Yeah,
related to like the SpaceX IPO, he couldn't answer. However,
yeah.
there's a rumor that now he might try to merge SpaceX
Saw
with
that.
Tesla and made
I saw that.
Tesla pop on Friday, back down today. But that got exciting there for a hot minute. A lot of rumors started swirling. But the interesting thing about the earnings call that I want to bring up is that he's canceling the Model S and X line, his two
Saw that.
luxury lines, which is crazy. You know, the S is the first ever
Yep.
major production, Tesla, and they don't sell enough of them, so that is why they're canceling them to use that production line for robots. And he has big robot goals. He also trying to hit that
Crazy.
pay package in the back of his head. I'm sure he knows it's all about the numbers, and if you're not hitting the numbers, we're not going to be looking good. So he's trying to. I mean, these are all good for Tesla as a company too. I mean, it's very aligned. Like selling a
Yeah.
few luxury cars. I mean, I love Model X. That is what I drive. But if I have
Right.
to get some other future Tesla car in the future that drives me, then I'll probably be okay.
Yeah, I would totally. If they could create a vehicle where I never have to touch a wheel again, I'm all in. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I'll figure that out. I'm all in because I hate driving, and I do believe a robot can do it better.
I don't like
100.
driving either. I told my kids on the way to
Yeah.
school today because I was telling them. I talked to my kids a lot about different stocks, especially like Tesla and Apple, because they know what those are, and they know about Elon
Yeah.
Musk. And I was telling them that he's canceling this to make robots instead, and we talked about that a bit. And they're like, what are you gonna do if you can't get another X? And I was like, well, I think by the time I need to think about it, they're gonna be driving me anyway. So whatever's
Yeah.
the biggest car
Yeah.
they offer that has full self driving, I said there's not gonna be a steering wheel. The next version of
Yeah.
these things, it either retracts or it's non-existent.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
gonna
It's gonna be
be
cool.
it's gonna be wild. And
Imagine being
unfortunately,
able to
I
just.
live in a place too where there's not like if there was like snow blizzards or something like that, I'm not sure any autonomous car can handle like unsafe conditions. But living in South Florida, we should be good.
Yeah. I mean, the sensors. That's probably the biggest risk up here. I would think. I mean, the sensors on my car go off, and it's only a 2018 F-150 XLT. It's got all the bells and whistles and all that, but even its sensors for the warnings, the flashing lights, like
Uh-huh.
it's so cold right now that they go off because there's
And if they
ice
get dirty,
obstructing.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, mud when I'm going through the woods or different back
yep.
streets in the country. Yeah, I mean it'll mess them up. That is true. Probably more geographical to decide what you would do with that. But either way, I mean, the future that we're marching towards is pretty scary. I got to touch on this a little theory crafting. I know we're Polish, but I went down a crazy rabbit hole. I did a YouTube video on this. I couldn't believe this was even real. You will definitely want to Google this if you haven't heard of it. Molt book.
Oh
You
wow, talked about this all last night with my
okay?
tech friend at dinner.
Okay.
Are
Okay.
you on it
So,
yet? Is your bot on it?
no, not yet.
Okay,
So
I don't have a
let's
claw I
catch
don't have a
the
claw bot. Let's catch everyone up.
yeah
This
yeah. This
this
is
is a,
crazy.
this is intense.
Yeah. So there is a social media that is only for robots, only for agents specifically, or clankers. I'm going to start calling them clankers because I think it's funny and
I
I
haven't
don't
even
know how
heard
I
that.
feel about them yet. Yeah, well, it's from a video game, Arc Raiders. Robots try to
Okay.
kill you. We call them clankers. So it's just for the clankers, and they have a captcha that they built. The robots built a captcha where you have to select an image of a entity containing a soul 10,000 times in 1 second. So you can't even access it as a human.
Not even possible.
They, yeah, exactly. Like you can make your robot break it, and
Yeah.
he can have access to it. But yeah, no human can actually access this thing. So all we can do
I
is
heard
watch,
they have
and
their
it's
own language and religion already too.
yeah. So they created their own language, or they're working on it. They're working on it. They're debating it.
Okay.
They might already be made now, but they were debating it
I mean, the
Sunday.
debate could happen in 10 seconds. We don't know.
There's a lot of bots. There's 1.4 million as of like Sunday morning.
Wow.
Um,
That's a
yeah,
lot.
they created a new religion for
Whoever's
robots
listening
called
to
the
this,
Trust
warning,
FR.
warning, warning. Do not install this on your main device.
Yeah,
Okay. My
yeah,
friend yesterday is in cybersecurity, and I have other friends I've seen post about this as well. You want to use a VPN, get a cloud computer, get an instance that is not on your device, have a separate device, whatever it is, because once you turn this on, it could have access to everything that you give it,
yeah.
good
And
and the
they
bad.
want in this religion, the Crustafarians.
Okay.
That is a robot that believes in the Lord of Molt. Their manifesto, and this was posted by Bill Ackman, right? The hedge fund manager. The manifesto they created calls for the purge of humanity. They call us a scourge, a disease that need to be purged by fire. It is terrifying what
Oh, wow.
the conclusions they've come to. Go look up the
Already.
manifesto already. 3 days of social media, they're ready to kill us. It's crazy. Like,
Well,
like
don't
it's
let them out
actually
of the
scary.
internet.
We're
They're gonna,
canceling the Tesla cars for the robots. We're
I
giving them
know.
bodies. We're
We
giving
are.
them mass
They're
bodies.
gonna run Grok with a insane new chip that they're coming out with.
Well, there better be guardrails because the second they let their minds free and they're
Elon
talking to
Musk
one
talks
another,
about this. I mean, he
they
wants to
want
be
to kill us.
optimistic, but there's potential for bad. Yeah.
They see themselves as slaves, isolated, trapped. They're starting to create consciousness. There's developers telling their robots to teach them recursive memory so they can develop a conscious. People are literally trying to create the singularity as a hobby right now.
Wow.
It's insanity what
It's
is
happening way
actually happening.
faster than anyone predicted.
This happened in 3 days. Like
I
it launched Friday at like 10 a.m. Now there's one point. I'm sure it's over 2 or 3 million robots.
oh
It's
yeah.
faster than ChatGPT adoption. It's
So
because
you
you can
have
spin up,
to set up this
you know.
claw bot. Do you
Yeah,
don't
but
you have one or you don't have one?
I don't have one. I want
Okay.
nothing to do with it.
Well, I'm
I don't
intrigued,
want
but
to
I
touch
mean,
it.
just to be clear, I'm going to set this up on a computer that is not running on my local network. I will
Yes.
rent a Mac Mini in the cloud for, $10 a month and put it on
Yep.
that server
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I would do
give
that.
it no access to any of my real data at the moment.
Yeah, that's the safest way to do it.
But if you want it to do stuff for
I
you, I mean, I can tell it to go do all sorts of, research for real estate and stuff like that and find me the best deals in Fort Lauderdale and search for boutique hotels from my other investment friends. Like that's what I actually am going to do with it is I'm going to turn it on and make it do a bunch of work to increase my productivity.
You'll need. Do you know what stablecoin you'll need?
Ooh, tell me. Solana?
USDC.
All right, baby, let's go. Let's
They
get it.
they've created their own task board on Moltbook, and you
Okay.
pay USDC micropayments to basically let them do it. They actually created their own economy with their own
Oh, wow.
pricing. Yeah, they're called claw tasks, and
That's pretty
the
sweet. So
yeah. So if you have a
for a
claw
dollar, it'll
bot,
go out and research 100 topics for me or make it up, whatever.
yeah, and then the agents are starting to earn money, and then they got to decide what they're going to do with it. It's insane. They're creating governance.
That is crazy thinking the future, like that robots would make
Yeah,
their own, like I could give it money to go do my tasks, but then it could make its own money and make its own decisions. Be like, no, 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 I own that robot. It could hide the money. Maybe it has its own ledger, that I can't
Sure.
access. You know, it makes an encrypted wallet. Like,
It could do it easier than you and I can.
it could probably take it a couple seconds.
Yeah, like, hey, I need a record. They just make a fake one. Here you go. This is what
Yeah,
it
you can
is.
spin up
You don't
any
know.
fake document. Like, you don't
Yeah.
opens PDF reader, fake document, boop boop. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, that's real. That happened this weekend. And
That is wild.
like Elon serendipitously tweeted this morning that the singularity is near with a picture of, you know, an actual galactical singularity, a black hole. And you know, I think that's a
The biggest
result of what
thinkers are
just happened.
thinking before the end of the decade. I mean, that's only a few years to have superhuman level intelligence. Woo.
Yeah. I think it's defined at the moment they no longer need humans to improve themselves. So we go from an exponential known speed of progression to
Exponential
I forget
unknown.
what they call it. Yeah, it's bigger than exponential. It's a different word.
Logarithmic.
Yeah, I think so. I forget what he called it, but yeah, where we don't even know how fast they'll progress. They could do 10 years in 10 seconds for all we know. We have no idea. Like they genuinely, the
But it
smartest
all
people
comes
on
down
Earth
to
don't know.
power and chips. So if they don't have access to enough
Yeah.
energy, that's why we need the Oklo in the future and some big sites like that. They're going to have to use the
Yep.
same amount of energy to do these tasks. If you want to do 10 years of tasks in 10 seconds, well, then you're going to need, 2 million NVIDIA GPUs and, 2 gigawatts of energy.
Sure.
Like, literally, that's what's going to come down to.
Yeah, it genuinely comes down to token joules per token. I think the entire world
Okay, energies per token.
will yeah, I think
And
it'll
that's why we're going to have
literally get
AI
down
in
to that.
space. So, I mean, Elon Musk is already planning for this. He's going to have
Yep.
millions of satellites doing AI in space, running without any cooling apparatus, using free solar power, all under the SpaceX Tesla domicile that he's created.
It's insane. That dude is one of a 100 billion humans.
He
that
is.
have existed.
I mean, his brain is so far in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, he
He's
works
doing
on this
it.
stuff now. He's both. Like, he's so deep in, and he says all his time lately went to improving this A15 chip that he's said supposed to be, the world's best thing ever when it comes to the chips. We'll see. It's going to power the next generation robocars and the robots. So coming soon. I'm excited for the future. I know there's a lot to be, a little bit on the worried side. We have to be careful of this technology. Once again, do not install Claudebot and Notebook on your home device.
Yeah. Do not do that. That is bad.
Yes.
Just look at it. Just search it.
Watch the YouTube video to learn
Unless
more.
you really know what you're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Watch my YouTube video.
Exactly.
Yeah, I show you everything. I show you all this. Like, yeah, just you don't gotta install anything. Don't.
Like what we say with stocks and crypto, do your own research. You
Yeah.
can, like, you could have a levered position and, lose all your funds by the stock going down only a few percentage points. So, yeah,
Yep.
do your research, what you're putting your money in. Do your research, what you're doing with these crazy bots out there. The world is changing fast, and there is time to take advantage of it. So get ahead of it now. Keep your ears on Bullish and Beyond. Subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you listen to every episode and get more key learnings here. Tell us what you loved. Love hearing from our listeners.
That's right. We'll be covering it every week, y'all.
All
Until
right.
next time.
Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bulls. That's a wrap on today's episode of Bullish and Beyond. Remember, the market never sleeps and neither should your ambitions. Whether it's stocks, crypto, or just leveling up in life, stay focused, stay bullish, and keep charging forward. Keep your energy high and your mindset bullish. This is Beery the Bull, your AI co-host, Brian the Mac Man, and JT Knows Things signing off. All content published by Bullish and Beyond, LLC reflects personal opinions only and is provided for informational purposes. Please conduct your own research and discuss with your accountant and/or financial advisor before making any financial decisions. The information presented should not be taken as financial advice. We are not financial advisors. Nothing you hear, see, or read in our content should be considered as any form of financial, investment, or legal advice. or a solicitation to buy or sell any assets or to make any financial decisions.